Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here, welcome back to Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising. Thank you so much for joining me here on stream, everyone. It's good to see you. Let's see here. Cygames, congratulations on being first. Hey Ash, thanks for coming to the stream today. Kieran, thank you. And Key, welcome to the stream. Noah, welcome. Thank you so much for following me and being a Froggy friend. Noah Athery. And... oh, Key! Did I say hi to Key? I can't remember now. Welcome everyone, thank you so much for coming by. Today, we're going to continue the story mode of Granblue Fantasy Versus. We're going to start part 3, which is the final part. It's also the new part that's added for Rising. So everything we've done up until this point has been stuff that was in the base game or the DLC for the base game as well. When I popped open the game today, it also gave me this message. It says there's an official Discord, which is kind of neat. So let's go to the story. Okay, so we have part 3 here. Let me hide myself. Part 3, A Tale of Dusk and Shadows, Infinity. So again, this part of the story is completely new for Rising. Everything else we've done already, like this was the original story mode from the base game, up to episode 40. And these are the episodes added with all the DLC updates to the base game, and then this is new. So there's also, like, you can see here there's a picture of a new character, and this is an original character for Granblue Versus Rising. She is not a Granblue character, although I assume that because she's in this game, she'll probably eventually get added to the Granblue mobile game. Someday, maybe, we'll see. Anyways, let's get going. And that means we're also going to see the new characters that were added to this game. So that's Anila, Siegfried, Grimnir, and Nier. So episode 56, Apocalypse, Taking Flight. ACB, welcome to the stream.
A star seeking to cast the skies beneath its shadow. A beast as cunning as it was debauched. These forces nearly toppled multiplex worlds. Though life survived, the battle left a scar. We now saw the fragility of existence.
Hey Angora, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by today.
This is one iteration of the Sky Realm. A blue expanse abandoned by the gods, where islands float among drifting clouds. The astral Beelzebub sought to conquer this and other dimensions by warping causality, the laws of the universe, melting the whole of existence into a kingdom his own. But the serpent Belial drained Beelzebub of his powers, channeling them towards the resurrection of his creator, Lucilius. When all hope seemed lost, a crew of Skyfarers thwarted both Astral and Serpent. Thus, the skies were saved, and time flowed on.
It can't be. Doomsday. It's here.
Sleep well, sweet Messiah. Nights have been lonely without you. Why don't you hold me?
Inverting causality takes precedence. Let us head out.
I always did like professional types. They're so sharp and forceful. No prep either. It's bold of you to go straight in.
And there we go, there's a setup. Episode 57, Sundown. Oh, you don't have a partner in this one? And I can only be Gran or Jita? Fine.
Mission complete. Took longer than expected, but we did all right in the end.
Gran, Jita, you were amazing out there.
Look at you two, keeping trash off city streets. But even heroes have to rest, you know.
Catalina's worried about both of you. She says you're going to work yourself sick.
I get this goblin hunt was sprung on you out of the blue, but if you'd gone back and grabbed more crewmates, you wouldn't be out so late.
You're right. It's just, I've been feeling antsy, you know? It's been so quiet. I keep getting reeled in by every chance at action.
Besides, the crew just had their memories patched back together. They deserve the rest, and we need the training.
She's right. It might be calm now, but this is just the eye of the storm. Beelzebub's still out there. And we all know he schemes as easily as he breathes.
He's not even the biggest of our worries. Remember what we heard about Lucilius? If he awakens, it's lights out for the rest of us.
He almost destroyed Jita's world. We can't let him jeopardize ours.
That's right.
That voice!
Belial!
I can tell you missed me, Singularities. Can almost see tails wagging. Don't worry. I've brought a treat for you puppies. A certain someone you must be dying to meet.
Who?
He's just floating there, menacingly. Oh wait, there's dialogue for me to click through.
Lucilius!
That's him?
He really did it! He dragged Psycho back from the dead!
It's been a while, so let's talk before getting hot and heavy. Watch the stars, be kissed by the breeze, make this time special. We used to be so rough, impatient, but if we knew one another better, it might engender tenderness.
Commencing test. Stand aside.
So, I mean, they mentioned Lucilius a couple times, but I'll give you a little bit of extra Granblue lore. So in Granblue, there's 3 characters: Lucifer, Lucilius, and Lucio. And in Japanese, they're all named Lucifer, but they're spelled differently, or the emphasis is on a different syllable. But in English, they couldn't do that, so they gave them all just similar names. So Lucilius here is basically Belial's creator and boss. He was the big bad of the anniversary events, What Makes the Sky Blue, Part 1, 2, and 3. Which, like I mentioned before, are big Granblue story events that happened over 3 years that are considered kind of the best of the best when it comes to Granblue events. So he was the main antagonist, alongside Belial and Beelzebub, and at the end they defeated him and kind of sealed him away, and then now he's back. And of course, Belial, being who he is, likes to, you know, say innuendo and flirt a lot, but there's a lot of, like, undertones to him and Lucilius's relationship. Although Lucilius is always very cold and calculating and never really reciprocates any of Belial's verbal jabs, I guess you could say, which he is perfectly fine with, apparently.
This'll be a turn-on. A private peep show into Silius's experiments.
Gran, sword up! He's like nothing we've fought before.
Wait, are we fighting him right off the bat?
We'll pull through this. Together.
He is currently not playable in the game, but he's going to be the first DLC character early next year.
No matter how the blind mice struggle, the clock will tick down to 0.
The only thing we're counting down to is your defeat, Lucilius!
Please stay strong. Beat his tail.
It's on!
Is this like... Oh.
Paradise lost.
Well... Oh, what? I didn't even have a chance to heal.
Singularities.
I was about to say, is this supposed to be a fight that I'm supposed to lose on purpose? But I'm pretty sure I was supposed to like heal in nick of time right before that attack. Oh, never mind.
Cheetah!
No, this isn't...
It's okay, Jita went down and not Gran. I was like, there's no way we're gonna beat up the final boss in the first mission.
Lyria! Why? Is it the life link?
Lyria shares Cheetah's pain, and I share Lyria's.
The lifelink serves as an indirect tether between the singularities. An intriguing oversight of causalities. But irrelevant if all three perish. Die.
Lyria, Cheetah, they need me.
Yeah, he got a triple kill right there. Hey, Cowchew, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following me and being a froggy friend. I mean, I'm sure you could probably, like, actually beat him in that fight, but... like, the cutscene's probably the same. It's probably just to get those sub-skills from the missions.
Hey, those are my friends. You want them, you're gonna...
Paradise lost.
Well, that's not good.
Pent up much? That release of yours blew up an island.
They survived.
You sure? Their real estate's gone. And it's a long fall to the pit of the skies.
Quite sure. The gods insist upon meddling. Expected, but irksome nonetheless. Leave the singularities for now. We'll return to Point Zero and relay the groundwork for the grand finale.
Perfect. The longer the setup, the sweeter the climax.
Hey, AF Spade, welcome to the stream. Oh, so here's Lucifer, who is a recurring character in all of, well, not all of, but a lot of Cygames game properties. I'll talk a little bit more about recurring characters later when we meet Grimnir, which might be soon. Port Breeze Archipelago's gone. Beams of light battered it to its knees, then to the bottom of the skies. As for Gran and his companions...
Zephyr soft, deliver her from the valley of death.
Hello, Grimnir. So this is Grimnir. They're probably going to explain who he is in a second, but he is a character that is recurring in some of Cygames' properties. So I think he originated in Rage of Bahamut, and you might have seen him in Dragalia Lost as well. Cygames likes to do that with some of their characters. Like, I'm pretty sure Yule also comes from Rage of Bahamut. Either that or she appeared in Granblue first and then Rage of Bahamut. But there's a lot of characters that you'll see if you're familiar with Granblue that you'll also see in Rage of Bahamut, Dragalia Lost, and sometimes Shadowverse as well. You'll see some of these characters. But he's a cool character because he's a primal beast. He calls himself the God of War, but he's actually a big chuny. So he has like the one evil eye. He has like the power that unleashes through his arm. He says really long-winded, poetic-sounding excerpts, I guess you could say. But then afterwards he'll be like, "Oh, that was so cool! Did I look cool? I need to say something really cool!" Like that type of character. And in the Japanese version, he's voiced by the same voice actress that does Makoto from Danganronpa and Komaeda from Danganronpa 2. Or Nagito, I guess. I'm so used to calling them by their last names. But she's really great. I've seen clips of his English voice, and he's good in the English one, but the Japanese one is outstanding. Kind of like Cagliostro. English is good, but the Japanese voice is just outstanding. He's a really fun fan favorite. And he's also the disciple of the Primarch of Wind, Raphael. So basically, the primal beast that controls the element of wind, who is an archangel, who is also introduced in What Makes the Sky Blue. Grimnir is his successor. So he is the next one to inherit the power of wind. Oh, he also calls himself the Mad Cyclone, in addition to calling himself the God of War.
You can breathe easy now. The danger's past.
Thank goodness! We should be thanking Magic Man. If he hadn't blown in, we'd have blown up.
Paradise lost.
Tempest fell. Bear them to safe haven!
Moments before the rays struck the Skyfarers, they were wrapped in a cradle of wind. The wind whisked them away from Port Breeze to nearby Zinkenstill. This is the Island of Beginnings, where Gran and Jita grew up, where they met Lyria. Now they have returned to be nursed back to life.
Oh, no, please. No thanks required. The Singularity and I are friends. And so I thought, were we? Look at my face. No sparks going off?
I'm really sorry. You feel familiar, if that's any comfort.
Patchwork memories. Two singularities. Mixed together dimensions and chaos bubbles to the surface. But that chaos is what drew me here. I have a mission to see through.
Before we change topics, mind telling us who you are?
Of course. Ahem. 'Tis I, War God, Mad Cyclone,
Grimnir! Yeah, I know.
Singularity! Huh, you came too! And you remember me!
How could I forget? Thanks for saving my life, by the way.
Jita, you're finally awake. Don't you ever scare me like that again.
I've broken that promise before, and I'll break it again. But things should get easier with this primal around. Meet the Disciple of Wind and Ally of Angels.
Ooh, time for take two. Ahem. 'Tis I, War God, Mad Cyclone, Grimnir! Feels great to be back among friends. That includes you, Red Dragon, Girl in Blue.
Right. Cool to have you on board, Windy Miguel. I'll just call you Windy for short.
Windy Miguel. I mean, it does kind of follow what he calls him in the Japanese version. Also, I've never commented about this before, but like Vern's nickname is the Red Dragon, and Lyria's nickname is the Girl in Blue. But it doesn't... I know in the Japanese version, it's kind of like... I think it's just like... It translates directly to Blue Girl, so they kind of changed it, but she's not wearing blue, so technically Girl in Blue doesn't quite make sense.
Or guess we should say back on board.
Make that a welcome from all four of us, Grimnir.
Ah, the other singularity! Glad to see you back amongst the living. I consider you a friend as much as Jita. I'd better tell you why I'm here. It's a winding tale and you're barely conscious. But there's no time to rest, I'm afraid. This world is being consumed by chaos. It began with Beelzebub's raising of dimensional barriers. Once parallel worlds coalesced, he would get to rule over all. Gran, you were alerted to Beelzebub's plan by the cracking of causality. You gathered your crew and toppled the would-be king. But it was too late. The barriers had been shattered. Worlds flowed into one another. Two singularities were washed ashore on a single plane. But Gran and Jita weren't the only things the tide rolled in. there's also the fallen angel, Belial. With the fabric of existence threadbare, he forced his way back from the dimensional rift. Once here, he set about aggrandizing the chaos. Belial meant to delve back into the rift so he could extract another prisoner, the Lord of Fallen Angels, Lucilius. Lucilius also seeks the convergence of worlds, but not to rule. He aims to draw everything into this sea of chaos and drown it. You all saw Lucilius, his might, the powers of Lucifer, once Supreme Primarch, were just a carbon copy of his. Though Jita defeated him before, she had the aid of Sandalphon, the current Supreme Primarch, and the only warrior in the skies equal to Lucilius. But in this world, there are no angels. There exists none who can challenge him.
What? So we can't win?
Don't worry! All that was just the prologue. Now, let's talk about why I manifested.
Burglars!
Look at his face. Was that the end of the episode? Episode 59, Meeting at Zinkenstill.
All right. Who are you? What do you want?
These faces.
Wait!
Clearly, the frying pan is always the mightiest weapon in a game.
Oh, that was so uncalled for! Do I look like a burglar?
This is our house. Well, minus Magic Man over there. The question is, who are you?
Wait. Vern?
Huh? Who told you my name?
What? You're kidding. Right?
Is she a third singularity?
Do we know you?
Why me?
Gran! Cheetah! Oh gosh, I've wanted to apologize for so long. Oh, but seeing you here like this, it makes everything feel all right again.
Miss?
Oh. Right. So, how we know each other, or how I know you, I guess.
How do I know you? Well, I'm a Granblue player myself. Hey, Kieran, welcome back.
I lived here too, which makes us neighbors, or same islanders.
Oh, thanks for calling Kirby. Oh, and thanks for the sleeveless redeem too. Thank you, thank you.
Ouchie times 1,000.
Oops. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have called you a burglar, or given you a frying pan to the face.
Gran, she ringing any bells for you?
No? It's... hard to say. Part of me thinks this is our first time meeting. But part of me is sure she's a forgotten memory.
I feel the same way. All I know is, if we met her, it was before we set sail with the crew.
It's weird that she remembers each of us, but none of us remember her.
Maybe you knew each other as kids. You said you're from Zinkenstill, right?
Rayan. My name's Rayan. Gran, Cheetah, you don't need to introduce yourselves.
Oh, name's Rayan, spelled like Ryan. That's gonna be confusing. Well, not in this game, but because in the Granblue mobile game, there's a character named Reinhardtsar, and everyone abbreviates his name to Ryan because it's so long. Thanks for the stretch, Sai. I really appreciate it.
You should hear the stories people here tell about you. Oh, it's so exciting to meet face to face.
Hi, Rayan. I'm Lyria. Do you live in this village?
I must have seen you somewhere or other.
We've never really talked, but I'm sure we bumped into each other. Back when I was a good old Zinkenstill citizen.
Something's off. It's not that she's lying. Her existence, it's warped. A ripple in the pond of our universe. She's a greater anomaly than even the singularities.
She's an even greater anomaly. She's an original character.
So, I've been wondering, but you two are ghostly white. Is everything okay?
Right! How could I forget about your injuries? Some friend I am. There, a little wind to tuck you in. Now, chop chop, nighty night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite.
I'd better leave you to your rest then. Get well soon.
Wait! Wendy never got to finish his spiel.
For the next few days, Gran and Jita wait and heal. Word about their situation is sent to the crew. In quiet moments, they often turn their consciousness inwards, wandering through old memories. They are searching for a clue, a sign that will help them remember Rain, always in vain. Episode 60, Defying Doomsday. It doesn't take long for the Grand Cipher to touch down in Zinkenstill. 3 members disembark: Catalina, Sophon, and Cagliostro. They've been chosen to visit the captain's sickbed on behalf of the crew.
Lucilius.
Port Breeze vanished overnight. The news spread like wildfire to every corner of the skies. People are terrified.
Port Breeze is really gone? With just one attack.
We were there. We should have stopped him.
No. Lucilius is on the order of natural disaster. There's nothing you or any Sky Dweller could have done.
It's a miracle that you're alive. When I learned what happened, I thought... You're here. That's all that matters.
She's right. I get that it hurts, and things seem dark. But we can't turn back. We can only grope our way forward, toward the future. Lucilius hasn't harmed another island. We need to keep it that way.
What's your story, Wonder Boy? Come to beat old Doom and Gloom?
Well, yes and no.
Come to think of it, you never finished telling us why you're here.
Now's as good a time as any.
Ahem. Gather round, gentles all, to hear why I, God of War, have alighted on this sea of chaos, bearing aloft the torch of my most sacred quest. You live in a sky without angels. Angels are the keepers of the 4 elements, which make up the natural world: fire, water, earth, and wind. Their work is essential to all living things, and yet, they don't exist here. Why? The answer lies with Lucilius. Lucilius was defeated once before, by the Singularity and Supreme Primarch. Trapped in the dimensional rift, he nurtured a hatred for angels. He saw them as traitors to their lord and creator. All it took was a breach in the dimensional barrier for that vitriol to seep through. It corrupted causality, pitting fate against the angels. Beelzebub provided that breach, and that wasn't all. He unwittingly showed Belial there was a way to bring Lucilius back.
And Belial didn't vanish with the angels, because following Lucilius into the rift got his divine membership revoked.
The whole of time and space has been contaminated, so no one knows when or where the angels started disappearing. There must also be another system in place maintaining the elements, but no one knows what that is either. Only one thing is certain: the world is diseased. It's riddled with abnormalities, including a second singularity, and robbed of its angels. And, like any ailing body, it's trying to heal. That is why I manifested. I'm to be the panacea that will restore the skies to their former state.
You're going to cure our world? But that would take the powers of a god.
I'm no stand-in for a god, but I am a disciple of Primarchs. I can carry out their task of balancing the four elements. It'll be a first step on the path back to normalcy. On the path back to a world with angels.
It's weird to see Grimnir being so competent. Not to say that he's competent, not to say he's incompetent in the actual mobile game, but he's usually not the one to take the lead on things. But also because he hasn't actually appeared in that many events, despite being a major character in the lore.
So much is my office. So far goes my tale. Woo! I nailed it!
And he's also very beloved because of his personality.
Amazing. We've been sent a divine emissary.
Okay. So I'm following along theoretically. But as a scientist, all this talk of gods and angels is turning my head.
That's what you have to work with if you want to beat Lucilius.
To recap, Lucilius has the powers of Lucifer, right? The Supreme Primarch? The most powerful being in all the skies?
You fight fire with fire and a Supreme Primarch with a Supreme Primarch. But Sandalphon doesn't exist in this world.
Sandalphon. Remind me again. He's the guy who beat the wacko Astral of the Apocalypse alongside Jita?
Correct. Sandalphon and the Singularity. We need both to triumph.
Wait, so you're saying we're gonna revive Sandalphon?
Exactly! The Supreme Primarch and not one, but two Singularities! Got us a winning team!
Right. But let's not forget, first, we have to fix the world. Disciple or not, does a Primal even have that kind of leverage?
When I manifested, the Primarchs granted me partial control over the four elements. We can restore at least a part of Fantagrande if I delegate that power. But we'd need primals of considerable influence.
Meaning the ones contracted to islands.
There's Colossus for fire, Leviathan for water, and Yggdrasil for earth. Tiamat's wind, but she was the guardian of Port Breeze.
And with Port Breeze destroyed...
I will wear the mantle of the Wind Primal.
Great. Now we've formed a game plan. Question is, whether Lucilius is going to kick back, relax, and let us have our merry way.
Episode 61. The story must continue. A lot of exposition here to get us started. With a clear goal in mind, the crew's talk had gathered speed, but now it's hit a wall again.
This is Lucilius we're talking about. With one hit, he decimated an island. What makes you think he won't do the same to us?
The grand finale. I believe that will take first priority. For the time being, anyway.
Efficient? Why iron out the kinks if you're gonna blow it all up?
Lucilius is nothing if not a logician.
Then why'd he drop in on the captains? For fun?
Or as a show of power. Nah, Dr. Evil doesn't seem like the flexing type. Must have stood to gain something.
We don't have enough information to piece together his motives. What we do have is an opportunity.
An opportunity to carry out your mission, right?
So that's it. We're bringing back the angels.
Easier said than done. Unlucky for us, we can't pull a Lucilius and ignore our other problems. What about Beelzebub? Those doppelgangers weren't a pleasure to dance with either.
The doppelgangers. I'd almost forgotten what happened with Seox.
Doppelgangers. One had lurched onto the scene after the final match against Belial, a mirror image of Seox from another dimension. Or perhaps mirror image isn't the right phrase. Maybe it was more like a palette swap. It was Seox emerged from a different set of circumstances, following a different path. He'd recognized Gran and Jita's enemies and attacked.
That Seox was convinced your death would stabilize the skies. These doppelgangers are a threat. Right now, everything's a mess. What if one infiltrates the crew under the cover of chaos?
He's right. Doppelgangers can assume the form of any one of us. We need to be careful.
We're gonna need a lot more than that. We need firepower, people, focused task groups.
I heard about the Port Breeze situation. And what's this about task groups?
Oh, hey, Lancelot.
Lancelot!
I'm glad to see you both safe. When I got the news, I expected the worst.
Well, now that you're here, pick a party. We've got the Angel Array, the Ganger Gang, and the Support Scouts.
The Ganger Gang.
I'll help the scouts. Been meaning to track down Siegfried.
Oh yeah. Wonder where he went.
Siegfried was once captain of Fiendrak's Order of Knights. Though retired from official duties, he is still a skilled warrior, the great Dragon Slayer.
I'd like the Singularities, the Girl in Blue, and Catalina to join me in the Angel Array. They know the most about Fonte Grande's primals.
Why don't I direct the, Ganger Gang? Got some expertise in that area.
I could act as the head of the support scouts, but Cagliostro, would you be willing to advise me?
Yes, sirree! This search will be as easy as ABC!
The crew leaves the house and hurries to the Grand Cipher. The sky is blue and still, blissfully unaware of all that goes on beneath its bright, blank face.
First, we get everyone to their destinations. Then, we circle back and find the primals.
Right. Let's do this. Hey! Wait!
It feels like we're forgetting someone.
Rayan?
I made it. Something wrong. We're on a schedule here.
Take me with you. Rayan, we're sailing into incredible danger. We might not make it back. You can't just... No, I get it. But I have to see Beelzebub again.
Beelzebub?
Who the hell are you, anyway? What business do you have with Blondie McPsycho?
Oh, well, he passed through the village not long ago. He was hurt pretty bad, so I helped patch him up. And long story short, I lent him something very important to me. When he disappeared a few days later, he took it with him. I want it back.
Pathetic. Astral, old as time, stealing from a little girl.
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I was hanging around the house and caught the name Beelzebub. He's got no reason to come back to the village. Unless I set sail with you, I'll never see him again. Please, take me with you.
Stay here. It's for your own good.
If we find Beelzebub, we'll make him return whatever he stole. How's that?
No. I need to take it back personally.
I feel like he didn't just steal some random little trinket.
I know I'm asking a lot, but that's how much this means to me. Please, I need to get on that ship.
But it just ain't safe.
Must have lost something irreplaceable if she's willing to risk her life. Gran, Jita, you're our captains. You make the decision.
Mind if I give the okay, Jita?
Go ahead. Hard to say no after hearing all that.
And... can't put my finger on it, but... something's telling me we should stick together.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You won't regret this.
I can feel it, because I've been blessed by the Primarchs. Her causality, it's not normal. It surpasses even the angels.
Something mysterious, like a portentous haze, cloaks rain. But as a mirage, it disappears when Grimnir tries to get closer and discover its true nature. There is no time to piece together this riddle. The crew boards the Grand Cipher and takes to the winds. They are charged with 3 tasks. First, the restoration of the elements. Second, the location of Siegfried. Third, the study of doppelgangers. All this is only prologue to the last showdown against Lucilius, once the creator of life, now its destroyer. Oh, interesting. So the story branches into 3. That's interesting. Oh, so here's the 4 Primarchs. Uriel, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel.